Hello, callers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest developing stories. Starting with this transfer news claiming that Barcelona still in the race for Brazilian wonderkid Endrick, who is also a target for Real Madrid, and it has been reported that Barca have asked the player to wait till the summer. We are going to be discussing on that as we move ahead. Then to conclude this episode, we are going to be talking about former Barca superstar Neymar, as he have recently been acquitted of fraud and corruption by Spanish prosecutors. So guys, before we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch right up to the very end. Barcelona are still not out of the reckoning for the signing of Palmeiras wonderkid Endrick, claims Joaquim Pereira on Sport. The 16-year-old Brazilian sensation has been making waves back in his homeland after his breakthrough performances at the Cofina tournament earlier this year. Having signed his first professional contract with Palmeiras in July, the teenage forward recently broke into the first team setup at the club. Furthermore, he scored a brace earlier this week, in the process becoming the youngest goal scorer in the history of the Brazilian outfit. Endrick has attracted a lot of admirers as a result, with Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid said to be interested in his services apart from Barcelona. In fact, it was Barca who took the first step in pursuit of the striker as they met his entourage in September to convey their interest in the young prospect. However, things have changed since then, as PSG have had a €20 million offer rejected for Endrick, while Real Madrid are also making a push for his signing, leaving Barcelona at the risk of missing out on his signing. But the report from Joaquim Pereira insists that the Blaugrana are not entirely out of the race to sign the 16-year-old forward. It states that Barcelona have had to realign their focus towards other targets ahead of the January transfer window. Indeed, Barcelona are looking to sign a new defensive midfielder and also a right back at the moment, following their elimination from the UEFA Champions League. The club understands the need for reinforcements in January, but are operating on a limited budget, leading to Endrick dropping down the priority list at the moment. The report adds that Barcelona have informed Endrick and his camp, with whom they share a fluid relationship, that they will have to wait until the summer before entering into talks with Palmeiras over an agreement for him. Barcelona are aware that they could lose Endrick by then, but have asked his camp to keep them informed about any developments in his situation. It is also claimed that the player, who will only be able to move to Europe in 2024 when he will be 18 years old, understands the situation of Barcelona. For now, Barca are not entirely out of the picture for Endrick's signing, but as things stand, they have other priorities, which could leave the door open for other clubs like PSG and Real Madrid to beat them to his capture. For the longest time, we have been talking about Endrick being linked to several big clubs in Europe. Many see him as the next big thing in Brazil, of course, after Neymar. He has a lot of prospects, and Barcelona have been long linked with him ever since. But he's still 16 years old, so according to the laws in Europe, he can't go to Europe until he turns 18, when he can sign his professional contract there. But right now, he plays normally for the first division in Brazil. He plays for Palmeiras. He's doing a great job. And of course, big clubs, PSG, Real Madrid, Barca, are the three renowned clubs who are showing strong interest in Endrick. The race is not easy though, but from the look of things, it seems as though Barca are losing grip. First of all, we know that we don't have that financial muscle like PSG, like Paris, like Real Madrid, so that can still play at our own disadvantage when it comes to going after Endrick. So Barcelona, according to this report, are not really prioritizing Endrick now, because we know the January window. I've heard the technical director talking about priorities like the right back, and also the the defensive midfield positions being the positions that they want to at least strengthen in the January window. But we know that we are all working on a limited budget. After spending so much, I mean so much, in the summer transfer window, we don't expect Barca to go that big in the next transfer window. And of course, that's still the disadvantage that we have. So Endrick, who have been the hot cake, let me put it that way, among the top clubs in Europe, Barca, who has still seemed like the favorites to land Endrick, right now things don't look optimistic at that end. Of course, as Barca have other priorities, and knowing fully well that Barca don't have that financial strength like PSG and Real Madrid, we can just count Endrick out because Real Madrid are really, really into the race. PSG are also really into the race. So, and definitely it's not surprising that those two clubs can offer Endrick a better salary than Barca. So, we might not really have, Endrick might not end up being at Barca as many people think because right now the competition is fierce. Then on to the next story of discussion. Neymar had become the focal point of the Spanish media over the past week due to the ongoing trials in Barcelona over alleged fraud and corruption during his 2013 transfer to Barcelona. Brazilian investment company BIS, who had owned 40% of the player's rights back in 2013, had brought charges against Neymar over his involvement in the transfer corruption and had allegedly understated the transfer value of his move to Barca. The prosecution had subsequently sought a 2-year prison sentence for Neymar and a fine of 10 million euros. DIS also sought a 5-year jail term for former Barca president Sandro Rosell and a fine of 8.4 million euros for the club. However, as reported by ESPN, Neymar has been cleared of fraud and corruption charges by the Spanish prosecution. Along with him, others who had been accused have also been acquitted. This comes after a series of trials that took place in the public court, which involved the statements of Real Madrid president Florentino Perez as well. Perez had revealed Real Madrid's attempt to sign Neymar a decade ago, but the move did not materialize. There is not the slightest hint of crime, prosecutor Luis Garcia Canton said after the end of the trials, asking the judge for the acquittal of all defendants. Shortly after the decision, it appears Neymar's family have confirmed that their legal representative have the right to claim charges against the private prosecution for recklessness, among other things. They also reserve the right to claim for damages. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.